GCSE day. Whoa, big day for many families. We did this last year. I'm very glad we're not doing it again this year. We will be doing it again in a few more years. I have my own personal thoughts on GCSEs. I feel as though, fine, they're a standard hurdle that you have to jump. But the political spectrum is awash with the fact that GCSE results are down this year. I mean, amazing if you're one of those kids in that. Thanks very much. Here's a slap in the face for everything you've been doing for the past few years, but whatever. Let's just do the headlines. But GCSE results are down. Now, do you remember A-level results last week? And Bridget Phillipson was claiming credit for the A-level results, and that was all down to her. So what's she going to do now that the GCSE results are down? Has she factored into this the instability of the past year? So we all talk about COVID, and we all talk about the instability that kids faced under the COVID years. We've now got the Phillipson years, haven't we? And the instability is arguably, for some kids, equal to that in COVID years. In fact, for some kids, I'd say it's potentially slightly worse because with COVID, everyone was in it together. Whereas with the Phillipson era, 7% are in it, 93% are in it. There's a massive great line and never the twain shall meet. Oh, by the way, please like, subscribe and share. So we've got a whole big melting pot of stuff to digest. Katharine Birbalsingh, do you remember her? She is she's known as the strictest head teacher. She's the head teacher that Bridget Phillipson had a spat with in a meeting. She's the head teacher that said to Phillipson, I don't know why you're dismantling the education system. It works. There's loads of ways that kids can achieve, and there's loads of ways that we can implement help and support for them so that they can achieve. Phillipson basically said, you don't know what you're talking about. Birbalsingh has just had a 100% pass rate in English and maths at her school. Now, I'd say she knows what she's talking about. So 100% of the children in the Michaela school pass their English and their maths. Now that is phenomenal. Yeah, Bridget Phillipson, she knows better. So we're seeing, we don't have to look very far, but we're seeing out in the open the damage that she is causing to the education spectrum in the UK. And if we propel ourselves forwards from GCSE, so this is the first hideous hurdle you have to jump. And then if you want to go on to do A-levels or anything in sixth form, that's the next hurdle that you've got to jump. And of course, you have to remain in full-time education until you're 18, which I think is ridiculous, but there you go. So kids everywhere are looking for places in colleges and sixth forms. Are there places? There's a lot less this year than there were last year. So what's happened is we're now seeing the first actual shift of VAT on education into the state sector. So Woking College is the perfect example. They have 1,000 sixth form places and they had 2,500 applications from kids. So what that means is, they're seeing a massive rise in applications. Every state sixth form is seeing a massive rise in applications because people can't afford VAT on education, even though they had broad shoulders and they could absorb it, said no one ever, other than Bridget Dimwit Phillipson. So we're seeing a massive rise in applications for sixth form state, but there aren't the places. So the Department for Education say they've put money in it to create places, but they're not there yet. Teachers are saying, we haven't got the places. Kids are saying, we haven't got the places. And parents have no choice because they were in the independent sector and now they need to go in the state sector. So what's happening is a massive bun fight for the places in sixth form college. And of course, they're going to go to the highest grades, aren't they? So have we made education accessible for all, or have we stream funnel lined it? We've done that. So Bridget, who said that she was breaking down barriers and your background should have no bearing on where you go in the future, has actually made your background integral to where you go in the future. What she's done is make your background the headline, and then what you can do after that is the paragraph 1 and the subsection. And for a lot of kids, they're choosing to use state sixth forms because universities prefer state educated kids over independently educated kids. Now, I wonder why. That wouldn't be this spite, jealousy, etc., would it? Of course it would. It's ideology. So universities are saying, we want state educated kids. Well, okay, fine. So all the independent kids are going into the state education. And what do we have? We have a massive influx of kids needing places for fewer places. Yeah. If GCSE education were an exam, Bridget Phillipson would be doing retakes this year, wouldn't she? She'd probably be doing retakes until it was just functional education, and then when she didn't get functional education, Keir Starmer might put her in a different position, I don't know, bin collecting or something. But she's definitely not up to the job. But of course, this is embarrassing for Keir, because we've got Ange, who's not up for the job. We've got Rach. I mean, how is this one going to unravel? I mean, maybe she'll come back from her holiday and have had life choices, and she'll have been reflecting when she's been on holiday, and she'll like, actually, yeah, I'm going to go into semi-retirement. I've decided I want to do a basket weaving course or something. So, you know, maybe Rach will do the gracious thing and step aside for personal reasons, and we'll get somebody else, God knows who. Word on the street is Sadiq Khan is eyeing up number 10. Wahey! Another shit show waiting to happen. So we can only see what happens after the recess, but Bridget has failed. On GCSE day, it is a fail for the Education Secretary and for the Department for Education. And what's worse is the amount of children and families that have been failed under Labour's 1 year tenure. How far will it go? Well, depends if they stay in, doesn't it? You know, if we have a look at the petition, which is getting numbers, or the petition for a general election, it's gaining in popularity all the time, yet it seems to have all gone a bit quiet on there, doesn't it? There will be a debate, because over 100,000 signatures means there has to be a debate in Parliament. It'll be squashed, quashed, moved to the side. We're all too busy wondering why Prime Minister's houses were burnt down and where we're going to put lots of migrants. His house wasn't burned down, was it? But you know what I mean. There were attacks on his car and stuff. So I think this will be another whitewash, and we'll all just forget about it. You know, GCSEs have happened. Phillipson's absolutely screwed up the education system, and everyone will forget about it, apart from us, apart from the kids and apart from the families. They will never, ever forget about this. So if you have done your GCSEs today, congratulations, finished, done, whoop, whoop. It is just a hurdle, honest to God, and your GCSEs do not define you. They do not tell anybody that you are just this person with your GCSEs. What they do is show an academic marker of how you can achieve in our standardised system. For some children, that will be brilliant. They'll have worked really, really hard and they'll have done really, really well. For some children, they'll have worked really, really hard and they'll have absolutely reached their ability. And for some kids, it's going to be disappointing. But all I would say is it's just a snapshot in time. The future is what you should be looking for. And if I were you, I'd be going back to geography GCSE and finding other places in the world to live. That is where your time would be better spent.